In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Monday, March 24th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our March 24th NBA basketball slate we got going on Monday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetChefD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.69 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we grow to a much broader audience. And speaking of that Patreon here, community going off, we had we'll see how it goes with all underdogs that we picked. But one of the underdogs that we selected was Kentucky. They came through and outright blitzed the Illinois Fighting Illini. We had people on VR Sports betting, putting $6,000 on Illinois. I did not see where that would be valuable there. Kentucky, obviously, they let you guys down in the regular season, but they're finally getting healthy and they're trending in the correct direction. And that offense is on a whole nother level. They were able to put up 84 points up against the Fighting Illini there. Illinois was a team that we expected to lose in the first round. They got by UNC, but Kentucky finally handled a team that's been very mediocre. Even though Illinois has the prospects to go far, but no, not this time. We thought UNC was going to be able to do it, but Kentucky handled business there. We have a community going off 24/7, as you can see. Comments, parlays that are getting hit right now. Duke -12, Duke with Kentucky and Alabama. As you can see, plays all over here in the community. If you want to get connected here and join the group chat, click on that link provided down below. You're getting full access to daily bets, future bets, which the March Madness future bet is still alive, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and SIGNUP Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. In Gainbridge Fieldhouse here, we have the Indiana Pacers 41-29 going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves 41-31. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Pacers as home favorites -125 with the comeback of the Timberwolves at a +105. Point spread at a 1.5. Total points at 231.5. Public bet percentage here, 53% of the bets, 60% of the money on the side of the Pacers. For the point spread, 66% of the bets, so public on the side of Minnesota. But we have the sharps here, 68% of the money coming in on the Pacers to cover the 1.5. For the total points, 82% of the bets, 74% of the money towards the over 231.5. All right, looking at the injury report here for both of these teams. Starting off with the Minnesota Timberwolves, we have a game time decision on Anthony Edwards. Definitely got to wait and see if he's going to be able to give it a go in this one. And for the Pacers, we have Benedict Mathurin going to be a game time decision, and Isaiah Jackson is out for the year. The way these two teams are looking right now, Pacers are on fire, winning four games in a row, beating up on the Brooklyn Nets and then beating Dallas and then beating Minnesota about a week ago. And that went into overtime. So tightly contested game there in Minnesota. We got a little bit of revenge narrative here, a weak disparity here between that game and this one, and then the Timberwolves winning 3 out of the last 5 games, trying to get a consistency here, even though they have been trending in a positive direction ever since Julius Randle has gotten back to the team. Okay, now with the over-under currently at 231.5, we're going to be leaning towards the over 231.5. 3 out of the last 5 matchups here have gone over this total. We're talking about two teams that do not play defense as well. You take what you're seeing against Brooklyn with a grain of salt. They're missing a ton of guys. They really can't score. You saw what happened with Dallas, 131 points. Then against Minnesota, 130 points. And then against Milwaukee, 126. It's a high-tempo team going up against a very efficient offense here. We're going to go with the over 231.5, and we're going to go with the Timberwolves to bounce back here. Take the plus 1.5 on the Timberwolves. Love this spot for them to bounce back against the Pacers. In Kia Center here, we have the Orlando Magic 33-38 going up against the LA Lakers 43-27. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Lakers road favorites with the comeback of the Orlando Magic at a plus 145. Minus 3.5 is the point spread, and the total points is at 215.5. Public bet percentage here, 85% of the bets, 95% of the money all over the Lakers. For the point spread, 78% of the bets, 80% of the money here on the Lakers to cover, and for the total points, 90% of the bets and 95% of the money towards the over 215.5. All right. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, starting off with the Lakers. They're going to be fully healthy. Rui Hachimura, game time decision. LeBron, game time decision. He's most likely going to play. Maxi Kleber is out. For Orlando, we're waiting on Trevelyan Queen, game time decision, and Cole Anthony's game time decision. Jalen Suggs and Moritz Wagner are out for the year. All right. Now, both of these teams here, Lakers just getting LeBron James back, losing the last two games there, getting blown out by the Bulls in that game, might I say. But that was his first game back. We'll see how things go in this second, and I expect them to redeem themselves in this spot here against Orlando. Magic very up and down all year long. They had a good win against Cleveland. They took advantage of Cleveland when they were in their little rut, but Cleveland bounced back on Sunday. All right, so up and down for Magic, but this spot here, they already played earlier in the season. That was a very tightly contested game in November, 119-118. That was Orlando Magic win on the road. We have a similar situation where the Lakers can do the same, and I expect the Lakers, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic to get back gelling here and have this offense be very formidable against a very, very Orlando Magic team that's defensive-minded, but they really can't put up points. So it's a mismatch here. All right, so give me the Lakers on the money line. Give me the Lakers to cover the spread in this one to bounce back from that Chicago game. In the total, we're going to go over 215.5. I think the Magic are going to have a really tough time here trying to stop the trio of the LA Lakers. Plus, if we're looking at the last 5 games, they've gone over this total in 4 out of the last 5 games. All right. So give me the Lakers sweep here. Money line, spread, and over 215.5. In Capital One Arena here, we have the Washington Wizards 15-55 going against the Toronto Raptors 24-47. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Raptors as road favorites here. This is the second game of back-to-back. They just got blown out by the San Antonio Spurs, and now they're trying to redeem themselves going up against the Wizards here at plus 110 on that money line. Point spread is pretty even at a 1.5, and total points at 229.5. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, Toronto Raptors, no Chris Boucher, no Brandon Ingram, no Jakob Poeltl, no Emmanuel Quickley, and no Grady Dick. All right. For Washington Wizards, no Sadiq Bey, no Malcolm Brogdon. Corey Kispert is out for the year, and Bilal Coulibaly is out as well. So these are your two bottom feeders here in the league. And you have the Raptors here who have struggled on the road, and they just lost to the San Antonio Spurs in a game on Sunday. So they're trying to bounce back here. If we're looking at both teams, they're both struggling on a 4-game losing streak as well. And also in the last 3 meetings of these two teams, it's gone towards the Raptors here 2 out of the 3 times. So in total, the Raptors have dominated this matchup here in the last 5 games, winning 3 out of the last 5. And I'm going to be going with the better team here. I think the Raptors on the second game of back-to-back, they're going to bounce back against this woeful here Wizards team. Give me the Raptors on the money line. We'll stay away from the point spread because the money line is so close. And for the total, 230.5 points. It just rose right now. It was at 229. Now it's at 230.5. If we're talking about that total, it's gone over that total in only 2 out of the last 5 matchups. I'm going to be going towards the under on this particular spot here. I get it, both teams are poor defensively, but I think we see some offensive struggles here on both sides of the basketball here. Toronto Raptors, they've scored 89 points twice In the last 5 games, 102 against Portland. We've seen Washington struggle as well. Give me the under on the total of 230. I think that's a little bit too high, but ultimately give me the Raptors on the money line. In Smoothie King Center here, we have the New Orleans Pelicans 19-53 going against the Philadelphia 76ers 23-48. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Pelicans are sizable favorites, minus 225 on that money line with the comeback of the 76ers at a plus 185. Point spread at a 6.5. Total points at 233.5. Public bet percentage here, 79% of the bets, 69% of the money on the side of the Pelicans. For the point spread, 68% of the bets, 83% of the money on the Pelicans to cover. And for the total points, 80% of the bets, 83% of the money towards the over 233.5. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, obviously both of these teams have been dealing with tons of injuries here to all their A talent here. 76ers, O'Shea Brissett, game time decision. Jalen Hood-Schifino out, Kyle Lowry out, Lonnie Walker out, and Andre Drummond out. Not to mention Tyrese Maxey and the whole cast and crew, all right? New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson is a game time decision. Yves Messi is a game time decision. Trey Murphy is out for the year. Brandon Boston is out, and Herbert Jones is out for the year. All right, so these two teams here, 76ers have lost 4 straight games in a row. Not to mention they just lost to Atlanta, so this is the second game of a back-to-back. Pelicans here losing 4 out of the last 5 games. The fact that this team is favored by 6.5 points is kind of crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me at all that these are 2 bottom feeders here. They're literally the same. This should be a pick 'em. They're giving you 6.5 points. All right, I'm just letting you know that right now. Second game of back-to-back. 76ers just got wiped out by Atlanta Hawks. I get that. No rest. They're middle of the league here with no rest, 6-7. All right, there's not much to go off on that. But what we can go off is that the Pelicans are just as bad. All right, and 6.5 points is way too many points, and both of these teams don't play any defense. So give me the 76ers to cover the 6.5, and give me the over 234.5. They're going over this total in 3 out of the last 5 games. In Phoenix Arena here, we have the Suns 34-37 going against the Milwaukee Bucks 40-31. In this particular spot here, we have the Suns as home favorites minus 145 with the comeback of the Bucks at a plus 120. Point spread at a 3.5. Total points at 225.5. Public bet percentage here, 58% of the bets on the side of Phoenix, but we have 56% of the money coming in on Milwaukee here. Sharps are leaning towards the Bucks in this one. For the point spread, 52% of the bets and 72% of the money on Phoenix to cover this 3.5. And for the total points here, 86% of the bets, 84% of the money towards the over 225.5. Now, looking at the injury report between these two teams, for the Milwaukee Bucks, Gary Trent Jr. is game time decision. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a game time decision. They're most likely going to play. The other outs are going to be Damian Lillard out, Jericho Sims out, and Bobby Portis is out. For the Phoenix Suns, game time decision on Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards. That's going to be a big loss there if they're not able to help defend Giannis Antetokounmpo here, because it's technically with those 2 guys out, this is a very small team in the Phoenix Suns, and he can punish them down low. Bradley Beal is going to be out for this game as well. Now, these 2 teams here, untrustworthy, all right, by all metrics. Both teams are very untrustworthy here, but there's a spot that we could definitely hop on a particular team. Bucks, they just won 2 games against the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings here. This is their West Coast trip, and now they're facing the Phoenix Suns, all right? 2 good wins there. Now, the Suns, on the other end, winning 4 of their last 5 games. They look hot right now. They beat Sacramento, beat Toronto, beat Chicago, and they beat a team that they shouldn't have. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers by 11 points. They got up for that game. This is going to be a turn down spot here. Plus, we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks here, who has dominated this matchup here in the last 6 games. They've beaten them 4 times, all right? It's because of Giannis, all right? So this particular spot here, give me the value on the Milwaukee Bucks on the road. Give me that plus 3.5 for the Bucks. I am not trusting the Phoenix Suns. I've been sticking away from them for the majority of the season. As you can see, they've been very mediocre. Bucks have been a little bit better. But this is a spot we're seeing the Suns coming off a big game against Cleveland. This is a letdown spot. Bucks plus 3.5 for the total 225.5. Both of these teams are definitely aiming to put up big points, but it's been split down the middle with this total here. 3 times it's gone over, 3 times it's gone under. This particular matchup here, I'm going to be leaning towards the over 225.5. I think Giannis has a big day, but ultimately give me the points with the Bucks. Last but not least here, we have the Sacramento Kings in Golden One Center here, 35-35, going up against the Boston Celtics, 52-19. If we're looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Celtics are road favorites, minus 160 with the comeback of the Kings at a plus 135. Point spread at a 3.5, total at 225.5. All right, looking at the public bet percentage here, we have 86% of the bets and 81% of the money on the side of the Celtics. If we're looking at the point spread here, we have 79% of the bets, 75% of the money on the side of the Celtics to cover. And for the total points, 88% of the bets, 92% of the money towards the over 255 in this matchup. All right, injury report here for both of these teams. For the Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, game time decisions. For the outs here, Xavier Tillman and Jaylen Brown are going to be missing this game. For the Sacramento Kings, Devin Carter, Malik Monk, and Domantas Sabonis are game time decisions in this game here. Celtics are on fire right now, winning 5 in a row. And then we have the Kings here struggling, losing 3 out of their last 5 games and on a 2-game losing streak. On a home losing streak. So they started out the home trip strong against Memphis and Cleveland, and then lost back-to-back to Chicago and Milwaukee. Now they got to face the Celtics. Plus the fact that they already beat the Celtics early in the year in January. That was a blowout win by Sacramento in Boston. So this is a little bit of a revenge spot here for the Celtics in this one. If we're looking at the total of over 225, they've gone over this total technically in 3 out of the last 6 games. All right. With this currently constructed team here in the Sacramento Kings, they do struggle on defense. That wasn't the proper performance what we saw out of the Boston Celtics in that first game, especially at home, only scoring 97 points. That is not like them. I expect a total opposite type of environment here. I like the over in total on this particular one here. Give me over 225 in this spot, and ultimately give me the Celtics to get the win as well. All right, those are going to be our selections for the Monday slate. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We can definitely debate about that down below. Also, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, get locked and loaded for March Madness, the March Madness futures, and the NBA Finals futures, click on that link provided down below. You're getting full access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. This is your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.